Hi there and welcome back to my channel. This is Sean, the Honest Book Reviewer, with another book review. In this video we're discussing Dead of Winter, written by Darcy Coates. It's a thriller. It's the first book I've read by this author and I loved it. This goes on my hooked by the first book list. Books where I've read the author only once, but I'm hooked on them. I want to read all the books they've written, in past or future. This is such a good book. It has a small footprint, and I love books that can use a small footprint, so a small setting, and create a great book, a gripping book. And this does that. It shows to me that the author is quite skilled and quite controlled, and can create a great tense thriller or a great book out of a small environment. And I do love that in books. Let's dive into the book now. In this book, Krista is on a bus, and she's on a bus with her boyfriend Kiernan and a group of other people, and it's a small group, maybe around about 10 or so people, and they're heading to a lodge in the Rocky Mountains. So there's snow everywhere, it's cold. They're heading there for 2 weeks. Most people on the bus don't know each other. They're strangers. Of course, Krista and Kiernan know each other. We have a father and son and a husband and wife. But they're strangers to each other and everybody else is there by themselves. We also have the bus driver and guide, Brian. Anyway, they're on the bus and the bus has to stop. There's a tree in the way. So they have to get out of the bus and the bus driver has a chainsaw. He can start to clear the tree. That will take time, so Kiernan and Krista decide to go for a bit of a walk in the snow. As you do, they get lost and a blizzard comes across as well, like a snowstorm. So they're lost. Krista falls down into some sort of, I don't know if she falls off a ledge, slides down a ledge of snow, or falls into a bit of a snow drift or something, but she's trapped for a bit under snow. And then she loses Kiernan. She can't find him. And she's injured. Some skin comes off her hand, so she's injured, and she's trying to find help, basically, and also find Kiernan. She finds her way to a small cabin. In this cabin, thankfully, are the other people. The other people from the bus have gone to this cabin to shelter there for the night. The bus driver says, look, it's too cold and too dark to search for somebody now. We'll search for somebody at first light. I've radioed for help. We just have to wait it out and we'll be rescued very soon. So everybody believes that. But there's one problem with that plan. Overnight, the bus driver goes missing. They can't find him the next day. He's gone. They're hunting for him. They're going back to the bus. They're searching around. And then they find something shocking. They find his head stuck on a branch of a big pine, almost like a stake, basically. And it's his head. And they can't find his body. They've only got his head there. Nobody touches it. They all decide it's a crime scene. They can't touch it. But now they're scared. They're worried. Have they got a murderer in their midst? Or is there somebody else out there who's a murderer? They don't know yet, and this is where the story amps up. The chill factor becomes so tense and so gripping. We see everything through Krista's eyes, basically, and through her eyes, the action is so well described. The people's movements, other characters, what they're thinking, their facial expressions, their body expressions, everything about them is described so well. And we get Krista's emotions come through so clearly. Her fear, her anxiety, her exhaustion, just everything that she feels and thinks comes through so clearly in this book. It's so well written, and all the characters in this book are so well created, so well crafted. You don't know if they're going to be guilty or not. You don't know if they're the culprits. That's how well it's written. I just found myself making guesses and assumptions all through this book. All through the book, I was thinking, okay, that person's now the culprit. Well, hang on, that person seems okay now, it's this person. I was changing my mind so often, and that's a sign of a great book. So basically, this book is brilliant in my view. It's got everything for a great recipe for a thriller. It's chilling, it's gripping, it's engaging. We've got a bunch of characters where most are strangers to each other. They're tired, they're hungry, they're scared. There's high anxiety going on. They're trapped together in a small room for most of the time because it's so cold outside. They can't find rescue. There's no way to contact the outside world, it seems. And to find safety, they have to travel through wilderness, where they have nothing to direct them by. There's no compass, there's no map, there's nothing that will tell them which direction is the right direction. And they're all afraid. They're all thinking, who amongst them could be a killer? Or is it somebody outside? But if somebody outside, where are they hiding? Where are these people who are killing people in their small group? It's such a great book. So well written. It kept me turning those pages, and I guarantee when you read this, you'll just want to read it so quickly. You can't stop yourself turning the pages to get to the end to find out who survives and what happens at the end. It's going to be very hard to describe these characters in great detail, because if I do, I'm afraid I'll give things away about the book. So when I talk about some of the characters, I'm going to talk about them in quite high level detail, not dive into them too much. The first is Krista, our main character. So of course I've got to talk about her. She's a great character, so cleverly crafted. You feel everything through her, and we have to, because she's our eyes through this book. Through her, we see the other people in the book, the other characters, and we wonder if they're suspects or not. Are they the murderer or not? We feel all her emotions so clearly. Her exhaustion, her fear, her anxiety, everything comes through so clearly. At the very start of the book, we feel her happiness for going on this bus ride with her boyfriend. She's happy to be there, even though she has a bit of trepidation. Back of her mind, she's thinking something bad's going to happen. And I don't know if that's meant to be showing that she's a bit psychic or not, but she has that thought. But she just thinks, I think, that it's, she's thinking that because of her past, something happened in her past that was quite terrible. And that feeds into her fear and anxiety through this book as well. But a great character in a great book. Simone is one of the other bus passengers in this book. She's very gripping and engaging. She's this character that takes charge. Her character in the book, in her past, used to be in the armed forces. So when things start happening, she digs in her heels and starts to take charge, starts to order other people around what to do, to arrange things like watches in the night, to arrange people not going alone in different places so they're not, vulnerable to attack. She arranges all that sort of thing, and you get the feeling she's quite capable and quite tough. You get that feeling from her. She's very tough, a very strong character, and at different times in the book, she is suspicious as well. And that's the thing about this book. All characters seem suspicious at one time or another, and that's what I love about this story. Blake is another interesting character. She's a retired 911 dispatcher, but she seems a bit off in certain ways, and that's coming through Krista's eyes. So through Krista's eyes, we get glimpses of Blake looking eager to see people argue, looking eager to see people when they're scared or they're vulnerable or injured. And we start to wonder about Blake. Is she, is she balanced? Is she the culprit? We start to wonder that about her, and that's the great strength in this book as well. Blake is very interesting as a character because she has reasons for not doing certain things or wanting to be somewhere in the book, and you start to wonder, is that true or not? So another good character in this story. I can't say enough good things about this book. I loved it. It was a thriller that really surprised me because I've not read anything by this author before, and diving into the author now in more detail, I realise she has many books out there, and I want to read them. I want to read her whole catalogue, and I want to read new books she brings out as well. I did enjoy this book so much. I rate it a 5 out of 5. Everything about it is so good. The setting, that small footprint, that small setting, where the author manages to give so much in the story, when it's mostly about people in a cabin, in a small cabin, in a snowstorm. The characters, the things that happen, the way the tension builds up, the way everybody is a suspect in your eyes when you read this. Everything about this book is just so gripping, so engaging. You'll want to read this more than once, I think, when you read it. It's a book I guarantee you'll enjoy. On my channel, I review many thrillers. If you like thrillers, check out my channel and subscribe. I also have a thriller playlist on my channel. Should be on your screen now.